what does cortisol do to the gut? And I feel like it's just back to what we were talking about, the distraction, right?
Yeah.
You look over here, and so I can take advantage of the body over here. Talk about how cortisol affects the immune system.
Yeah, so cortisol, is a necessary thing when you're going through the fight or flight response. It's necessary in the morning when you're trying to awaken. So it basically like alerts a lot of neurological systems in your body, right? And that's really the purpose of cortisol. The downside of cortisol is that as cortisol is building up in your body, part of it is getting dumped in the gut. When it gets dumped in the gut, and the reason it gets dumped in the gut is because a part of that gets metabolized by microbes in the gut, and then the metabolic byproducts of cortisol go to the kidneys to increase perfusion of water back into the circulatory system to increase blood pressure. That's an important feature in the fight or flight response because your body's trying to get high amounts of pressure of blood to your brain and your muscles so you can fight or flee, right? So cortisol is doing that. It's going into the gut. Now, one of the problems is if it's in the gut, it's going to make your gut super leaky acutely, especially if you don't have the right microbes to stop that process, right? If you had the psychobiotic microbes like the Biflongum 1714, the Zenbiome strain, that stops cortisol from making your gut leaky. But if you don't have that, and most people don't have adequate amounts of that kind of strain, cortisol hits your gut, makes your gut super leaky. That leakiness throws up inflammation like crazy, like IL-6 and all these inflammatory cytokines. Those inflammatory cytokines, again, negate the function of the immune system because your immune system becomes supremely distracted, right? It cannot find the source of infection. It doesn't see the alarms that your commensal bacteria may be putting out. And then also the other problem with a leaky gut and a gut that's not functioning properly is your immune system requires certain nutrients in order for your immune cells to have enough energy to do what they have to do, right? So it requires enough butyrate production, for example. And if your gut is leaky and dismantled, and stress causes that kind of leaky dismantling of the gut, you're not producing enough butyrate and other short chain fatty acids. So you're not feeding your immune system properly. At the same time, your immune system is completely confused and distracted because there's so many fire alarms going on throughout the body, right? So this is absolutely why stress can negate immune function. There's another reason to that as well. There's a lot of opportunistic microbes in your body that over time have developed the capability of reading your stress hormone levels, right? So what they do is that's the opportunity that they seek. When the host stress hormone levels are high, that's when these microbes start expressing the virulence factors. That's when they go, hey, the host is compromised. This is our chance to proliferate and to multiply. So then you've got all of these pathogenic organisms starting to multiply during the increased expression of cortisol. So not only do you have inflammation that's distracting and confusing the immune system, you're not producing compounds and byproducts that the immune system needs for fuel and function. And then the last part is your dysbiosis of the environment is increasing because you're getting more and more of these opportunistic pathogens multiplying at a higher rate. So it's a trifecta of things that really disrupt your immune function. Hence, a lot of people, when they're stressed, they break out, they get the cold sore pops in, they get sick. That's all tied to those three key things.
And that's without eating the cupcake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
Right? We're
without
not
it.
even
Yeah.
eating and enjoying the good food that disrupts our gut.